Have you ever wondered why some mornings feel heavy the moment you open your eyes, while others feel light as air? Maybe the difference isn't in what's happening around you, maybe it's in how you begin your day. Just imagine this. What if a few simple phrases each morning could shift your mood, help you feel calmer, lighter, and more grounded? Would you try it? It doesn't take hours of meditation. Just a few gentle reminders, small but incredibly powerful. And the beautiful part is, these reminders aren't abstract or far-fetched. They come from the timeless wisdom of the Buddha, practical, grounded, and deeply healing. So before picking up your phone each morning, take just a few quiet minutes to come back to yourself. That alone can change the energy of your entire day. Today, I'd like to walk with you through 6 morning affirmations, simple but meaningful phrases to help you start each day with peace in your heart, clarity in your mind, and steadiness in your steps. If you're ready, take a deep breath and let's begin this journey together. 1. I let go of yesterday. Have you ever woken up, but your mind was still stuck in yesterday? Maybe it was an uncomfortable conversation, a mistake you kept replaying, or just that lingering feeling of not having done enough. Your body is in bed, but your heart is still tangled in the past. And before you know it, your new day begins with a heavy chest and a restless soul. There's a teaching in Buddhism that says, no one steps into the same river twice. Everything flows rivers, time, and even ourselves. The past, no matter how beautiful or painful, is water that's already gone. But somehow, we humans keep trying to scoop it back up. We carry regrets, old grudges, and disappointments into the new day, like a backpack full of stone sand, then wonder why we feel so exhausted. Now imagine this. What if every morning was a kind of rebirth? Not into a perfect life, but into a lighter state of being. Letting go isn't about forgetting. It's about releasing what no longer helps you heal or grow. There's an old Zen master who once told his student, when you walk through thorns, don't bring them home. Brush them off before you enter. If yesterday was filled with thorns, leave them at the door. Take one deep exhale with it. Let go of everything that no longer serves your peace today. People often ask, how can I live more peacefully? And sometimes, the answer is simpler than we think. Start by letting go of yesterday. You don't need to do anything grand. Just one quiet morning, a few still moments, and a gentle whisper inside your heart. Today is a blank page. I don't need to rewrite the old story. And just like that, your first step out of bed will feel lighter, your breath deeper, your heart more spacious, with room for peace to enter. 2. I will listen deeply to my body and mind. Picture a quiet morning. Soft sunlight coming through the window. The world outside still asleep, and in that stillness, something precious is happening. Life is breathing in you. But sometimes, even when the body is right there, the mind is already gone off to work, worries, unfinished tasks, or things that haven't even happened yet. And just like that, the morning slips away, and we're barely aware of it. Have you ever felt that way? That's why the most important thing you can do in the morning isn't rushing into tasks, it's coming back to yourself. Not just listening with your ears, but with your full presence. Slowing your breath, placing a hand on your chest, and gently asking, how's this body feeling today? Where is this mind going? It sounds simple, but it's deeply powerful. Because so much of life feels like we're being swept along by a current, forgetting we can choose when and how to pause. The Buddha, in the Satipatthana Sutta, reminds us, contemplate the body in the body, the feelings in the feelings, the mind in the mind, the phenomena in the phenomena. In other words, look deeply at what's really happening inside you. I once had an older student who came up to me after a morning meditation with tears in her eyes. She said, "I had no idea. Just sitting quietly for a few minutes, I could hear the sadness inside me. I've been so busy taking care of everyone else, I forgot to check in with my own heart." That stayed with me, because it's so easy to lose ourselves in the noise of duty and responsibility. But the body and mind are like a garden. Without listening, without care, they wither. And just a few quiet minutes each morning, a breath, a pause, a gentle question. What in me is asking to be seen today? That alone can be medicine. In Buddhist practice, this kind of listening is called mindfulness. It's not about fixing or judging, it's about seeing. A tight shoulder, a quiet sadness, a sigh you didn't even know you were holding, all of it deserves attention. You don't need answers right away. You just need to return. Because often, healing doesn't come from fixing. It comes from being present. People in the West often ask me, "Is mindfulness the same as meditation?" And I smile and say, "Yes, but it's more than that. It's a way of living, a way of loving yourself with gentle attention." So if this morning you're feeling unsure, tired, or just a little lost, don't rush for the television. Don't check your phone. Sit, breathe 3 slow breaths, and listen. You don't have to figure it all out. Just come back. Because in that act of returning, something inside already begins to heal. The day doesn't have to be perfect, but if it begins with one moment of honest listening, then no matter what happens outside, there's still a place of peace inside. And that place is you. 3. I am grateful for this new day. Have you ever woken up in the morning, opened your eyes, and just laid there in silence, doing nothing at all, just feeling yourself breathe? No rushing, no to-do list, just a simple realization you're still here. There's another day to live, another chance to love, to learn, to begin again, even if just one small step. Years ago, I studied with an elderly monk from Myanmar. He once told me, "Every morning is a gift, but most people open their eyes and see only obligations." That stayed with me. Because it's true. So many people start their day with weight on their shoulders, thinking of unpaid bills, unread emails, meetings ahead, and they forget the very first gift of the day, waking up still alive. Just imagine, if today were your last day, would you begin it in a rush? Or would you slow down to hear the birds outside, to feel the sunlight on your skin, to hold your loved one's hand a little longer? In Buddhism, gratitude isn't just a fleeting feeling, it's a practice. A way of honoring every small moment as if it were both your first time and maybe your last. The Buddha said, "A day without gratitude is a day wasted." Each breath, each heartbeat is a quiet reminder of how precious life is. And I've heard it often from elders. The older we get, the simpler things become, and that, in itself, is wisdom. Because we stop chasing what's out there and start treasuring what's right here. A warm bowl of soup, a surprise call from a grandchild, a morning without back pain. These are the little things that younger folks might overlook, but those who've lived long enough know they are miracles. So if you're hearing these words and you're still breathing, still listening, still feeling, then smile gently, because that means you've just received another gift. A brand new day, another chance, and gratitude is the best way to unwrap it. 4. I am calm and in control of my mind. Some mornings, the world feels loud even before you've gotten out of bed. The news, your to-do list, the unfinished tasks, the reminders. Your mind starts running before your eyes fully open. And the day just carries you away, pulled, pushed, and scattered by everything and everyone around you. Have you ever felt like that? Like you're no longer the one steering your own mind? just being pulled along by it? In a Dharma talk, the Buddha once said, "The mind is the forerunner of all actions. The mind is their chief. The mind makes them." In other words, if you can master your mind, you can master your life. Just imagine. Out there may be strong winds, storms, or harsh words. But in here, you can still be steady like a mountain, unshaken, grounded. That kind of peace isn't some distant dream, it's real. And it begins with a choice. The choice to come back to yourself. One of my older students shared with me once that she keeps a small card by her pillow that simply says, "A calm mind is home." Every morning before getting up, she places her hand on her chest, takes a slow breath, and reminds herself, no matter what happens today, I still have the power to choose peace. No one can take away your inner calm unless you give them permission. Being in control of your mind doesn't mean stopping every thought. It just means not letting them control you. When anxiety shows up, just notice it. When anger rises, pause, breathe, and look at it without reacting right away. A few mindful minutes each morning are like anchoring your boat before the tide comes in. Without that anchor, it's easy to drift. But with it, everything slows down. Even the outside world seems a little softer, a little easier to navigate. So if tomorrow morning you wake up and feel your mind already racing, pause, breathe, notice, smile. Because peace isn't something you need to find out there. It's already here, waiting for you to return. 5. Everything is impermanent, so I will cherish this moment. Have you ever sat by the window, watching the rain fall, and suddenly realized that something you once thought would last forever has quietly passed? A beautiful day becomes a memory. A heartbreak softens. Laughter, goodbyes, even the moments you thought would break you eventually fade into stories. That's the nature of life impermanence. In the Buddha's teaching, impermanence isn't something to fear. In fact, it's what makes healing possible. Because everything changes, sadness fades. Because nothing lasts forever, there's always a new beginning waiting. One older practitioner once told me that after losing his partner of 40 years, the emptiness felt unbearable. But one morning, as sunlight hit an old teacup they used to share, he felt a kind of warmth. He said, "I realized even pain has a lifespan, and if I can stay with it long enough, without running, it will eventually pass." Now think about this. If you knew for certain that everything would pass, would you live differently? Maybe you'd laugh more and worry less. Maybe you'd hold your loved ones a little longer and let go of grudges a little faster. Maybe you'd pause, close your eyes, and simply feel your breath as if it were the most sacred thing in the world. We often delay our happiness. We wait for life to settle. We wait for others to change, for ourselves to be ready. But the truth is, only this moment is truly here. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. The Buddha said, "Nothing is forever, so live as if everything is a last time." With that awareness, every leaf, every smile, every ordinary moment becomes sacred. If today is a peaceful day, be grateful. If today is a hard one, remember, it too shall pass. Because impermanence doesn't just take away, it also gives back. New chances, new lessons, and a new breath of life. And right now, while you're listening, breathing, and simply being, this is a moment that will never happen again. So please, savor it fully, as if it's the only thing you truly have. 6. Today, I will respond with kindness. Have you ever had a stranger at the grocery store flash you a gentle smile, and somehow it softened your whole day? That's the power of kindness, small, simple, and yet it can ripple far and wide. It doesn't need a big reason. It doesn't ask for perfect timing. All it takes is a heart that's willing to meet the world with softness, instead of reacting with the usual sharpness. Just imagine if everyone, when they woke up this morning, whispered to themselves, "No matter what happens today, I will choose kindness first." How many moments of anger would dissolve? How many misunderstandings would never turn into conflict? How many people would feel seen, touched, and cared for just because someone chose to respond with warmth? The Buddha once said, "Hatred is never healed by hatred. Only by love is hatred healed." This is the ancient law. Kindness isn't just an action, it's a way of being. It's how you sit with someone in pain. It's how you say no without hurting. It's how you treat yourself gently, especially on the days when nothing seems to go right. I remember visiting an elderly Buddhist woman in the hospital once. She had chronic back pain, felt exhausted most days, but every nurse who passed by her bed heard the same words, "Thank you, sweetheart, for taking care of me." When I asked how she stayed so gentle despite the pain, she smiled and said, "Because if I'm not kind, I hurt in both body and heart. So I'd rather choose the lighter way." From years of teaching and living alongside people over 45, I've seen it clearly. As we age, the heart has a chance to soften if we let it. We stop rushing to be right. We stop needing to win. We just want peace. So if someone says something upsetting today, pause just for a moment and respond with kindness. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Kindness may not change the whole world overnight, but it does change the way you move through it. And sometimes, that's more than enough. You see, it only takes a few quiet minutes each morning, with a few gentle words, to lay the foundation for a more mindful, powerful, and compassionate day. You don't need to change the world, just the way you enter each morning. Gratitude, letting go, listening within, staying calm, embracing impermanence, choosing kindness. These are the seeds of a deeper, more beautiful life. And the best part? You can plant them every single day as the sun rises. You may not be able to control what happens out there, but you can always choose how you begin. And a morning rooted in mindfulness is a gift you give yourself. If something in today's reflection touched your heart, I invite you to subscribe to the Buddhism Seeds channel. Like this video, share it with someone who might need it, and leave a comment below to let us know which morning affirmation resonated with you most. Thank you for being here. May every sunrise meet you with a deep breath and a peaceful heart.